Hello everyone, it's just a dad. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and show you how to set up for the first time this brand new Roborock Saros 10R. Now they do sell a 10 that doesn't have the R on it, but this is the 10R, retailing for $1,600. I bought it for $1,400. Now again, I bought this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. This will be the original just unboxing and the setup. I'll do another video that's going to be the first look or the first cleaning, and then I'll be doing a detailed review on it, and then I'll be comparing it to the new Edge, the Dream X50. We got lots of robots being released here real quick. So here's the unboxing. Everything's typically pretty, these boxes are only getting heavier. So it looks like we have the base station. The robot is back here. It's heavy. Okay, I don't know if they're getting hit, but this just seems heavier. So I like that it has a nice handle. Looks like we have the docking station. I always recommend putting this box on its side and then slowly dragging the dock out. There's not any, I'm afraid to pull on too much. There's no handles or nothing, so. Okay, wow. This thing looks, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it's like a glass look. Wow, it's got like a mirror finish. We've got some tape on here we're gonna take off. Very impressive so far. Okay, let's take the lid off of the robot. Nice setup manual with nice instructions. Even more instructions. 2 mop pads. Dock. Here's the actual robot. Ooh. And then we've got like a little box here with all kinds of goodies in it. Okay, so I've got everything taken out of the box. Here's the robot. We've got 2 mop pads we got to install. We got a manual, extra vacuum bag. We've got a plug-in cord. Here's the ramp for the base station. We're going to take this piece of tape off here. I'll go over that a little bit later, but we're going to put the ramp on. It simply just snaps into place. Now there was some tape on here. There was some tape up here. This is the clean water tank. You're going to fill this up with clean water. And this is the dirty water tank. You'll have to empty this out. The base station is going to wash the mop pads and then suck the water up into the dirty water tank. Now around back, you're going to plug the cord in. It is 6 feet long. It's 3-prong. It's kind of stiff. It can come out one side or the other, but no cord storage. So it looks like it uses, when it's collecting dust, 6 amps. When it's hot water washing, 12 amps. And when it's just charging, 1 amp, 1.4. Now let's take a look at the clean water tank. They're putting like a scale eliminator. There's a float here to let it know when the clean water tank is empty. There's a little filter underneath here you got to clean once in a while. And then you're not supposed to mess with this. This is like a scale eliminator. It's got like some beads in it. You can hear. It's got a nice handle. The dirty water tank, it has a float in it. It's just going to let the machine know whenever the dirty water tank is full. And once in a while, you definitely will have to clean this out. It will start to get an odor to it. This has got like a nice glass here. Now this, you're going to pull off. This is where the dust bag is. So the base station is going to suck everything out of the robot after the robot's done vacuuming your house. You will have to replace this dust bag. It's very simple. You're just going to pull it out and slide it in. There is a solution tank. Now, the robot does not come with any Roborock solution, but you can put the Roborock solution at full strength in this little container, and it's going to mix the Roborock solution for you. That's kind of a nice little container. I like that. Now, there's like these little handles on the sides, but you're simply going to push this on. Okay. Okay, here is the base station. This is the docking 4.0 station. It's going to auto empty, suck everything out of the robot right here. It's going to charge the robot. There's where it's going to fill the robot up with water. The robot does have an internal water tank. There's like a sensor. There's like wipers here. There's a motor that's going to turn those wipers to help clean the docking station. It's going to put hot water onto the mop pads and wash them, and then it sucks everything out into the dirty water tank right here. And at the end of the job, it's going to blow hot air onto the mop pads. I'm not sure exactly. I think the hot air comes out right here. And it will turn the mop pads every so often so that the hot air is blowing on the mop pads to dry them. And this base station It can remove the mop pad from the robot and keep it at the base station. I'm not sure exactly how it does it, but it can keep it at the base station, and the robot can leave by leaving these. So it can remove and install these. Now I do like that they make this removable. You are still, even though it self-cleans itself, you are going to have to clean it. There's those wipers that are run by these motors right here. And once in a while you have to take, there's like a little float in here. And again, I think the hot air is directed kind of down. But there's the suction tube. It goes right into the tray. All you gotta do is push the tray. It works really nice. Okay, front to back, about 18.5 inches. Left to right, 14 3/4. Now height, the unit is only 19 inches tall, but you are going to have to lift the tanks out. You need about 24.5 inches above the unit to lift the tanks out. Okay, now let's switch over to the robot. Now, it doesn't have a spinning LiDAR on top. It's got Starlight. I assume that that's kind of a LiDAR technology that's gonna help map your house, but it is really thin. It says it can clean under 3.14 inches. So yeah, I mean, it's right at 3 1/8. Between 3, yeah, it's 3 1/8 inches tall. It does have the bumper technology. We got 2 buttons up here on top, a home and a dock button. Now we have lots of sensors here on the front. Looks like we have a camera, we have an LED light. Again, the Starlight autonomous sensor. It does have a video camera. It can take pictures. It can go around and search for your pets, and you can have it be like a robot, and you can have it go around your house and you can video like if you're far away. We've got a flexible arm that comes out to the side. We got another sensor that senses when it's up against the wall. It uses this to tell when to move the mop pad and the flex arm. Around back, there's the charging points, a sensor for docking. There's where it's going to fill the robot up. There is an internal water tank. Again, another Starlight sensor, navigation system. This is where it auto empties through. It sucks everything out of the dustbin. Okay, let's go up to the top now. You're simply going to take the cover off. It's held on with magnets. Here we have, we got a reset here. This is the dustbin. It's going to vacuum your house. Everything's going to go into this dustbin. Whoops. There's a nice big opening here. There's also a filter. You will have to clean this filter once in a while. Nice big filter. You have to replace it also once in a while, but you can wash it out, let it dry out in the sun, and then put it back. When it auto empties, everything goes out this little trap door, and then it comes out right here. There's a hole right here. Let's just take a look down in there. And back here, this is where the suction is created. There's a motor back here that creates the suction. So everything's gonna get sucked up through the filter and then come out right here. There's a little seal. Okay, so let's flip it on its back now. We've got the mop pads we got to install. Now, one of the mop pads, it can move out to the side and mop right next to the edge, the same as the side brush. It can move that side brush. Now, these mop pads are a little different. They got like a little spring here. Again, the robot can leave the mop pads back at the base station. Now, the theory behind these mop pads is they have to capture the dirt. So whatever dirt you have on your floor, it has to capture it, take it back to the base station and wash it off and then go mop some more. And once in a while, you will have to replace them. And you can also just put these in your laundry to kind of freshen them up also. But they're easy to install. Just snap them into place. Let's see if there's anything a little different down in there. There's going to be some mechanism that's going to help remove those mop pads. That's like a little magnet there, looks like. And so they just snap on like that. And it can raise and lower those mop pads 22 millimeters when it senses carpet also. Here we have the drive wheels. Let's take a look. It has a split brush. Here's the door. There's like a little flapper there. But it has a split brush. That's to help with hair removal. So the hairs should go to the center and then get sucked in instead of wrapping around the individual roller. I have found that actually does work pretty good for the Roborock. 2 different sides. Put the front ears in. Now this all comes assembled other than the mop pads. Now, yeah, it can lift the brush roller and it can lift this front wheel. You'll notice this front wheel can move up and down. That's for thresholds. Here's the carpet sensor, this round hole. Be careful with that. Don't ever poke it. Might have to clean that once in a while, but you want to be very gentle with it. Here's the fall off sensors. You'll want to wipe these off once in a while. You'll get a reminder. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. They're just little glass windows that you're gonna have to clean. That's a wheel. That just pops off if you ever get hair wrap around it. Now it looks like we have another sensor here. And I'm not sure exactly what that one is, but I know that's the carpet sensor. And then this is the side brush. It can extend that arm. It can lift this side brush up and down, and it can extend it into the corner, which is pretty neat. Okay, so I'm super excited we're gonna connect this to the phone, but that's a glass. I've never seen one with a glass like that. I'm not sure exactly what, I'm sure it's it's probably front facing LiDAR. And there was that one sensor. If somebody knows what this one does, I don't know what that one does. So if you could leave it in the comments down below. And again, the mop pads do look completely different. Okay, let's fill it up with water. Again, that is something I'm starting to see in most of them. Now be careful, the docking station was pretty heavy. Here again, here's the clean water. Now I wish they would have given us some Roborock solution for the, that's disappointing. Also the plugs, that's a really thick plug, and I wish it was like a 90-degree connector. Now the light was red, but I did fill the water tank up and now it's white. I'm not gonna put anything in this. I will put a link to the Roborock solution. It doesn't necessarily say Roborock on the bottle, but it is Roborock solution, and you put it in that tank right there. So thankfully we got a white light, even though the solution's not filled up. Okay, gain access to this QR code. Now you're gonna need to get the Roborock app, and you gotta log in with the username and password. Now at the home screen, you can click the plus button, or there might be, if you scroll, there might be a thing that says add a robot, but let's just add a robot. Now you're gonna scan the QR code, press and hold down. Okay, so mine's not turned on yet. Now typically I put these in the dock and do all of this with it in the dock, but this is towards the back. I would not be able to see it. So we gotta manually turn it on. Now don't do this on a table. You wanna do this down below. I think that lights. Yeah, ooh, there's lights here, I didn't know. Yeah. Okay. Now it's not going to say charging because it's not on the dock station. Now it says press and hold the power and the dock buttons for 3 seconds. That's these two buttons right here. You'll hear it say resetting Wi-Fi or something.
Resetting Wi-Fi.
Okay, now I can click I heard it. Next. Select your Wi-Fi. It only works on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and then put your password in. All right, connect to the device's Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is an important step. The robot is transmitting a signal. You got to click join. Your tablet or phone is going to connect to the Wi-Fi that's being transmitted by the robot, and it should do some connecting. This should be automatic, but you may have to manually connect to the Wi-Fi being transmitted. Then hopefully your tablet will go back to your normal Wi-Fi. It does say it's connecting. All right, successful.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Stand by.
All right, and we want to keep these things close. Don't close the app. You should get like 3 check marks here.
Wi-Fi connected.
Oh, just one. Enter device. Okay, that was pretty easy. Now we want to put it on the dock. Make sure the ramp's nice and flush. I've got the unit on. I've got the mop pads installed. I got the cover back on. You're simply just going to dock it. Hopefully. Normally you should hear charging.
Charging.
Yeah. And looks like those lights there went out. Okay, so let's walk. These are important steps. It's walking you through, but it's going to have some things that I'm going to show you. So do you have a pet in the house? I do. Carpets, applies carpet boost by default. Now, with that checked, it's going to be really loud on carpet. So just be aware of that. You can always change it later. I have multi-floor house. And you can change all of these later. This is kind of a setup. Make sure the do not disturb is on because this thing will start. If it doesn't finish the job, it'll start in the middle of the night. It'll go back, recharge, and then start it. But I'm going to turn it off. I like that that's on by default. Map saving. Yeah, you want to save the maps. Water levels low. Yeah, it's not. There's always an update to the voice. And there's usually an update. Now, I like to let it sit here for a second. I might get a notification for an update. It doesn't come with much charge, about 36%. We're going to do quick mapping. And just, there's a red dot on the dock, and that's because the detergent is low. I don't have any in the detergent. I think I'm going to put some water in there. Now, I can't remember if on other detergent tanks, but there is a filter down in there. I bet you that's going to get clogged. There's no way of opening this. But there's usually a foam filter on the bottom of that blue thing. Maybe it's just a screen. I don't know. But anyway, that could get clogged. There is a float. I don't remember a float being in there, but there's definitely a float that's sending some sort of signal that it's out of detergent. And then this is where it sucks it out of the back. Okay, I filled it up and the red light went away. Now, I haven't got an update notification yet. Let's go just check. Because there's usually an firmware. Let's go check the firmware update. I like to turn that auto on. Okay, the current version is 2.25.2. There is a latest. I can do update now, yeah. Now, you don't have to do this because it'll do it in the middle of the night, but I would make sure and turn auto update on because I've never had any updates that like have broken my robots. Now, that's to say that this wouldn't happen, but there usually are some pretty good fixes with the updates. So I always turn the auto update on. I forgot to mention you need about a foot, 12 inches clear on either side, and it looks like about 2 or 3 inches or 2 or 3 feet clear in front of it. And I like that they show you exactly, so in case you have to rebox it up, they show you exactly how it came in the box. Okay, this is taking, we're about at the 5-minute mark.
Complete.
Okay, now it's up to date, 2.35.58. Now I'm sure there'll be a few more updates. This thing is so new. Okay. I didn't tell it to map my house, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to do quick mapping. There's sometimes I have had to do a full clean and have it map my house. That does seem to work a little better, but normally I do quick mapping. Open your doors.
Starting mapping.
Put things where they normally are, like if you have a chair, just kind of, even though that chair may move at a later date, it will recognize the chair moving. It's best just to keep things. Okay, so it removed the mop pads. It's going to randomly go through your house. Don't follow it around. You could get in the way. Definitely has LiDAR. We're getting a live update of the map of your house, which is always super cool. This is the only way. This is just what I recommend. When not every robot does this. It's not vacuuming, it's just mapping. Now, if the map of your house isn't super accurate, you can have it do a clean and map, where it goes and it cleans every inch of your house and creates the map. But even if it doesn't get your entire house, this first map, as it cleans your house, it will update the map. It'll ask you, hey, we found a new room. Do you want to add it? So you can add it at a later date. I have found that works pretty good. But sometimes I've been noticing is like rooms, especially this room. I thought this would have been the easiest room to map, but the Dream X50 struggled getting that corners right, which seems like it would be the easiest to get. And I had to remap that 3 times. And we will be checking thresholds. I got some threshold devices. Yeah, there's the one. It says it'll do 1.5 inches. This is a little bit, no, this is under 1.5 inches. Now, it may, so say, I got a removable threshold. Your thresholds are probably going to be permanently installed. It may see that threshold and then try to go over it. I don't know, but I know you can add it at a later, like after it maps your house. Let's say you had a big threshold here and it didn't go into that room. Okay, that's fine. Let it map your house, and then when you're done with the map, add a threshold there, and then that will tell the robot, hey, go up over that threshold, and then it should clean that room. You could have it do a vacuum, and it should map that room. But I think if it senses a threshold, I can't remember. I don't think it does until you tell it it's a threshold. Now, the Edge could not do that 1 point, even though it says it could do a 4 centimeter threshold. I've been doing some testing. That's the Roborock Edge That was the latest before this. It cannot do that 1.57. Or yeah, that's even like a 1.5 threshold, and it can't do it. And I will be comparing, this is the Dream X50. I got reviews coming on these. Been a little slow. I'm just getting new to my studio, getting things set up. I do have reviews on the X50. The X50's just been taking longer. It's had a few problems, but I think it's kind of getting ironed out, and the Edge has been doing okay. But I got my threshold cart here. The Dream can do this one. This is like 2.5, yeah, the Dream can do this, and it's 2.5 inches. The Dream X50 is actually pretty amazing with thresholds. It's got separate feet, where these don't have separate legs that extend. Also, I'm hoping they come out with a version of one that connects to the water, because I think this is the future, where I've got a drain here. That's the Dream X4. This is amazing when they connect to the water lines, and it's just a game changer in my opinion. You're just not worrying about those tanks. Filling the water tank and clean, and especially the ones nowadays. It's becoming more and more, this is going to become more and more apparent to use, because man, I can't go a day without cleaning these without filling these tanks. Like, because they've got so many sensors that if it sees that this floor's dirty, it goes back and remops it, which is what you want, but it can use more water that way. So I'm going to have scenarios where you can connect it to an existing drain, which that's what that is. I've got an ice maker line there. I've got a floor. You can even put these into a floor drain. And I've got where you can connect to an existing water line. So this is the Dream X40 up and running, works great. That's the X40 Master. Okay, that took 15 minutes, about twice as long as normal, but it doesn't have the spinning LiDAR, so that map is very accurate. Maybe that's not. My building is just a rectangle, so that one may not be super accurate. No, that's the front door. I'm sorry. Okay, it is accurate. All right, let's go in. It did ask me, I thought normally there's a prompt, do you want to accept? But let's go to the map, edit rooms. So I could combine these rooms, divide them up. It did a pretty good job of dividing them. I want to divide this room. And I love you can pinch zoom. So let's add a divide. Let's bring it over here. Now if it's not solid, you can't add it, and there should have been a wall there. And so see how this room, there's not a door right there. It won't let me, it thinks there's just a wall right there. It may update that later. I'm hoping it does. There I can add. But sometimes when you do a full clean and have it map your house, it can be a little better. All right. Let's label name. Now, if I've run into this, it only allows you so many names. If it says you have too many, you got to delete some names. So you can go in, like I can click that. I think if I swipe that, no. Let's name that the kitchen. Oh, yeah, see, it says it says I reached my limit. Funny, I was talking about that. And now these are names I've had for other rooms. So I don't think it'll delete them in the other robots, but I'll verify that later. So I got to delete some of these so that I can add more custom names. Now I can add a name. No, I want to name it. Oh, I didn't say remove. Oh, I did say remove, sorry. Name. Not used to seeing that. Yeah, it's having trouble dividing this. That's that corner I was showing you earlier. It didn't get the walls entirely, which that should be the simplest room in the world to map. Okay, so dividing the rooms up was a little tricky because it leaves some areas, like that's a wall there, but for some reason, it should eventually close that little portion off once it does a full clean. Now, I do recommend, we're not going to put, it doesn't know exactly where all the carpet is. You'll see it's got some spots where it went. That's showing carpet. I recommend doing a full vacuum of your house and let the carpet sensor show you on the map where the carpet is. That's the best way. I know you can go in there and manually add carpet. I haven't found that to work the best. Now, if you want to do the direction of your floor tile and have it clean in a certain direction, I do recommend doing that. Again, you'll see that room is all carpet, but it just went through there a little bit. So we want, and I don't recommend doing a full clean with mopping. I recommend doing that in a little bit, but the first thing you should probably do is a full clean, vacuum only. That way it's not going to use a bunch of water. It's going to show you exactly where all this carpet is. This is a new addition. People have been asking me for U-shaped furniture, and I've got a U-shaped chair coming also. And I'm going to be putting some lint, some cotton lint on floors to see if that can pick up that. Okay, we're going to go through all the settings first. So here we are. This is the front page when you first log in. It's always going to be on full, and let's select this. It does have a smart plan. This is like AI, where it does have some pretty good technology where it figures out where it needs to clean the most. So you're probably going to leave it on smart plan and full most of the time, but you can go and do vacuum and mop, mop only, vacuum, or custom. You've got 4 levels of suction, 3 levels of water flow. That's funny. It says it has 30 levels of water flow, but I only see 3. So we'll have to look into that. You can do 1 or 2 passes. I like that. Again, that's mop. Okay, let's go back to vac. It's our smart plan. You can select what, you can do just certain rooms. In whatever order you select them in, that's the order it'll do them in. You can do a zone, and you can do more than one zone. So say I want, oh, the dog made a mess here. I want to add another one, and I just want to do over here. That's super easy. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention. Let's go back to maps, no-go zones. Okay. You can put invisible walls. So if you want an area where you want it to stay, I always want it to stay away from this room. Just put a wall. You can vary the size of it. It won't go past that wall. Or you can do no-go zones. Now, the robot's going to recommend no-go zones as it cleans your house. And you may want to let it clean your house and see where it's getting stuck. These things are getting so smart. But if you have an area where you know, I've got a bunch of cords and it's just not going to do very well, go ahead and you can make a no-go zone in this little area. Like, I know it's not going to do real good right here. We'll put a no-go zone. All right. And I can add a bunch of those. But again, this is stuff you can add later when you see exactly what's going on. And what I like is you'll see those show up here. Now I was earlier talking about thresholds. That's under surface. I wish there was a button that said thresholds, but here it is. This is where it says floor type and carpet. Again, I don't mess with those right now. Those I can do later. Thresholds. Now, thresholds are important. You don't want to be putting these just anywhere. You want to click add. It's going to turn off the fall offs. I think it turns the fall off sensors off. So we want to be real careful, but it causes the robot to angle up. So let's put one over here. You can make it bigger. You can make it thicker, longer, but I'm going to put one in this room. The next video will be the first cleaning. This one, we're doing all the settings. So make sure, I'll put a threshold right there. I'll say it's kind of big. And now that threshold will show up on the map as a yellow. Okay, furniture. I don't get into furniture type. I know these will show up later. I'm not, and this supposedly has a bunch of 3D stuff. I just haven't found that to be super useful yet. Okay, we did zoom. Routines, I have not gone into routines yet. These seem really cool. I just haven't done them yet. All right, whoops, I went all the way out. There it is, Saros 10R. Okay, let's go. Let's start with this. This is the video when you want to tell it to go do a video, or you want to look remotely, do some remote viewing, you're going to do that. There's your history. The first thing I tell people is put these on a schedule. You can always tell it to stop, but you're never going to tell it to start. So let's put it, set a start time. I can start mine at night because this is a studio, so but you'd start yours during the day. Repeat. You can do a custom. I want Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Full, I can do certain rooms. It's very customizable. What I say is, Do a schedule where it mops your kitchen once or twice a week, where it just mops. You know, that way it's not doing a big job. And have it do your entire house 2 or 3 times a week, you know. But granted, you're going to use a lot of water, so just keep all that in mind and click there. But put them on a schedule, amend the schedule. It's always easier to just go up and say, go home if it's bothering you. You're rarely going to remember to tell it to start cleaning. Okay, there's the schedule. Floor settings. All right, we're starting to get into some really good stuff here. Edit surface. This is where you can go in and add the floor, carpet, and thresholds. Carpet. This is an important one. I like the default is rise. Make sure if it's on avoid, it's not going to go on carpet at all. Ignore means it stays away. That means it will mop. If you put it on ignore, it's going to mop carpet. Cross means it's only going to cross them. Rise, suitable for low profile carpets and mats. When the mop mount is attached, the robot will lift the mop pad. This carpet boost, again, it's going to be a little bit louder when it's on carpet, so you may want to turn that off. Deep, I've never turned deep cleaning carpet. It cleans the carpets again. Vacuum first. No, this is an important one. You're probably going to, I'm not going to turn that on right now, but you're probably going to turn this one on. You want it to vacuum first. You want it to remove its mop pads. Go vacuum all the air. Once it cleans your house about 2 or 3 times, it's going to know exactly where all the carpet is. And you can always tell it to add carpet too, but it'll go vacuum all the carpet first. And then it's going to come back, attach the mop pads, then wash and get the mop pads wet, and then go and mop your floors. Whereas if you tell it not to do that, your mop pads may be wet, and it may lift them up and kind of drag them on there a little bit. So it's just better to have that selected. It'll take longer. So that's a very important one that I say recommend, but I'm not going to do it, but I will eventually. Okay, that's on by default. That's the flex arm. That's the front brush. We got the mop is on by default. It's going to move that mop into the corner. I wish that was on by default. I know. And again, this may be, there's 2 types of remopping. I think this is the robot. When a dirty area is detected during mopping, the robot will return to the dock for mop washing and double mop after. We're going to check. There's also one in the dock. Auto detach, yes. In vacuum and vacuum carpet first modes, okay, that's important. The robot will detach the mop cloth mounts on the dock before starting. So it does not work in the AI cleaning, the smart plan. It only works in vacuum, or no, if it does work in the AI, but I have to have this selected. I have to have this selected for this to work. Vacuum carpet first. Pet area deep cleaning. That's when you're going to identify pet beds and different things later. It's going to clean up more around them. Cleaning pattern. I've never got into this yet. Smart, clean along floor direction. That's if you have flooring that's in one direction. If you see pattern in it, like if it goes against the grain, you may see like scratches or something. You can tell it. This is new mixed pattern. Cleanups take, robot moves in a direction perpendicular to the last cleaning. I thought it would do that anyway. Interesting things. There's starting to come up. Okay, we did floor settings. Let's go dock settings. Mop washing frequency. This is going to be important. Default is 15 minutes. You can do it by room. You know, get used to it. You know, after it cleans your entire kitchen, you could say go wash the mop before it does the bathroom. So that's if you want to do it by room. But if you want to do it by frequency, now this is not set in stone either. It's based on factors. The actual interval will be fine-tuned. So, but again, you'll use more water if it's 10 minutes. You'll use less water if it's 25 minutes. And you know, let's get back to this. I'm wondering now if we can, if we can start going higher, since these things have sensors. You know, the ones that don't have the sensors, like the dock sensor that sees when the water's dirty, tells it to go remop. I'm wondering if we can go higher now because we have so many sensors that it rely on the sensors to tell it to go remop. Whereas the dumb ones, or the ones that are cheaper, that don't have all the sensors, your floors are only going to be as clean as the water is, which I tend to set a lower time on those. So this might be helpful. Mop, wash, light, balance, deep. You know, if you have a really dirty house with lots of dirt and mud, you're going to tell it to deep cleaning the mop pads. Smart, I guess it figures out how to do it. I'm not sure exactly how it figures out how to wash the mop pads. The water temperature of the water is set on hot. You can change it to room temperature if you want to save some electricity. Smart cleaning, refilling. The clean solution is added automatically during mop wash and tank refill. Okay, that's an important note. It uses the solution for washing the mop and putting in the robot, which I think the Dream doesn't do that, but don't quote me on that. So the Roborock is saying the solution, it's going to mix with the water and put it in the robot so that whatever solution you end up in there is also going to end up on your floor. And they only I know I get a lot of questions of what solution. They only recommend to use the Roborock solution. All right, and you can turn that off. Dust bin, I do high because I don't like when it doesn't auto empty. That's when it sucks everything out of the dustbin. Empty mode, smart. You know, they've just got this smart stuff on everything. To me, this doesn't seem like it needs it, but if you're wanting it to be, yeah, I don't know. Light means it may leave some residue in the dustbin. No one ever wants that. I would just do max. Drying mode, auto drying, schedule drying. Ooh, that's neat. Manually, okay, so you would have to manually start the drying of the mop pads. That's the hot air. This is neat. I like this. You could say what time of the day, like when you go to bed, you want it to clean. Maybe this robot is somewhere where it's going to disturb me. Now, usually these fans, these blowers are not super loud, but you will notice them. That's interesting. I like that. You could tell it when to start drying your mop pads. These features, they just keep adding more and more. Duration, 3 hours is what I use. It says if you're in a really high humidity area, you go 4. But you know, it's winter time, so maybe I'll go 2 hours. This is when you want to self-clean. I'll do a separate video on self-cleaning the tray. I'm going to use this for a while. Okay, reactive avoidance. Obstacle photos. Okay, I always have this on. It's just going to avoid obstacles. Photos. Now, you're probably going to have to agree to privacy. It says it doesn't share. I mean, we hope they don't share the photos or anything, but so you have to agree to the privacy. Collision avoidance mode, balance, none, sensitive. I just leave it on balanced. If you find that it's hitting things more, you could go to sensitive. If you find it's not getting in certain areas, you could click that where it's none. Pet recognition, yeah, pets. Pet snaps, these are cool. I like these. When your pet walks around the robot, it'll snap a pic. AI environment recognition. Actively perceives the home environment and identifies some furniture and floor types. Yeah, I'll leave that on. It does have a LED fill light. That's automatic. You can turn it off if you don't want the LED. It is kind of bright, but it needs that light, so it needs it to avoid obstacles, I think. Okay, maintenance. This is where all the filters, that filter probably will never make 150 hours. Let's see, it tells you how to reset and it tells you how to clean it. Oh, this is it. I just learned something. I've always said it would never make 150 hours, but they throw a little side note here, and that's what I've always known. I've always known those filters clog super easy. And here's the little caveat. Air filter will clog over time. Rinse it every 2 weeks. Replace it after 150 hours. That's what I've always said. Maybe I haven't read the small print, which I'm notorious for not reading the small print. But that is the replacement time frame. Those filters, they just clog super easy. So every 2 weeks, but there's no reminder of that. I would like to see a reminder. The main brush, replace it. Okay, that's replace it. Side brush, replace. Sensors, you're going to see a lot of. 30 hours, wipe them clean. Mop, replace as needed. It's not going to tell you a time. The cleaning tray, this is interesting. Oh, a status. Rinse the cleaning tray at least once a month. So maybe that's just a timer. Dust bag, replace as needed. Doesn't manage maps. That's that multi-level house. When you wanted to save, you could create another map for the basement or upstairs. Voice assistant. I've never got into the Hello Rocky. I'm going to turn it off, but I'm sure it's useful. I just haven't found it to be. Remote viewing. You got to activate it. You got to give it. Let's activate it.
Press the power button to complete the activation.
So it's wanting to make sure that you're here with
Remote
it.
viewing on.
I thought you had to give it a passcode. Oh yeah, you got to draw a pattern for the passcode. All right, the remote viewing is active. I gave it a pattern. Yep. Wow, that's super clear. And again, you can move the robot. You can pin it, tell it to go somewhere. Say, oh, did I leave the iron on? You know, it doesn't have a very good up camera, but you could see if it was plugged in or something. And you can even tell it to go find your pets. It's pretty neat. All right, where were we? In the settings. Lots of settings. Remote. Okay, we did remote viewing. Was there anything there? We have volume and security settings. Disable. Okay, change it. Okay. AI laboratory. Okay, these are tricky. I don't recommend turning these on. I've had some. It seems like these are such experimental features that sometimes I run into problems with my robots turning these on. But deep cleaning for heavy dirt or stains. The robot start deep. Flex arm extend. And cleaning identifies and extends the flexible side brush to clean crevices below. I might turn that one on, but I'm not going to turn these AI laboratories on. I've just had too many problems. Robot settings, you can go back and turn the do not disturb on. The button lights are on. Voice assistant indicator light. I wonder if that's those 4 lines. Child lock, off peak charging, offline map. I've never turned that on. The device will shut down automatically if left uncharged for more than 12 hours. Enabling offline map allows you to know where the device was before going offline. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea to start turning that on. The unit of measurement, I'm going to do feet. Yeah, we did robot. That was robot settings, yeah. The pin and go, I've never used, or I guess I could. I've never used a remote control. There's the user manual. It's a download. Product info, you could change the name. That's important for the Echo device or the Amazon smart devices and different things. Because when you tell it a certain name. Firmware updates we went over. I turned that on automatic. Device sharing. This is important if you say your mother-in-law or somebody has one, and you want to check in and see how it's working, and maybe she's having a problem with it or something. She could share it with you, and then you could go in and see it if you were in another state away or something. So, all right, looks like we've done all the settings. So many settings. Again, yeah. Let's now go back to the home page. When you first log in, click the profile, smart speaker. This is where you connect it to these smart speakers. I've already got it linked. Looks like you can do Siri and all of those. So, okay, so again, the first thing I'm going to have it do is we're going to do a full, I wouldn't do the smart plan, just do a vacuum. Just do one time, have it vacuum your entire house, and it's going to show you exactly where all the carpet is and maybe where there's potential no-go zones that you might need. Okay, so be sure and check out the very next video. I'm going to be doing some of that. Experimenting with it. I hope this video helps. I've split them. Let me know what you think of splitting them up, because I think some people may not want to see exactly how it works. You know, they may just like, hey, I bought it, show me how to set it up and explain the settings to me. The next video will be, let's watch it work. You know, so if you've got a question on how yours is working compared to mine, that would be a good video. But the videos are ended up being an hour long, and I'm not sure about you know, I want to help people. So the setup video, this was the setup video. Unboxing, put it together, put it where you need it. We do some talking about it. And then the next video will be, hey, I actually have fun with the first look. It's like, we see lots of things that we're probably not going to see later on because it'll work better, but we have fun. We play around. I can do more things, I think, instead of it being a super long video. But you can see the first look is the very next video. I bought this with my own money, $1,400. It's got a $200 coupon right now, so $1,400, I'm okay with that, I think, considering I've been paying $1,700, $1,600 for some of these. So, but this at 16, I don't know if it's worth it yet or not. It looks cool. It's slim. I like that it removes the mop pads. The water containers just seem small. They seem smaller than the Q Revo, which that worries me, but I like the looks of it. We'll be doing some threshold testing in the first look, and we'll be doing some mopping and some different things. So again, I really do appreciate everybody. I do have reviews, comparisons. I'm working on helping people find the robots to buy. You know, there's so many out there now. And my number one comment right now is, what robot should I buy? I've got to come up with some kind of list, like the best $400. I mean, I have videos that say the best $400, the best, but it's ever changing. I'm thinking of going to a weekly podcast just to keep everybody up to date on pricing and what's going on. I cannot believe how often these things go on sale. It's crazy. Like, that's the X50, but the X40 has been $1,000 like 4 times in the last couple months, which that's an amazing robot. The Dream X40 for $1,000 is just incredible. So anyway, look for videos coming. I do appreciate everybody's support. I'll put a link to these. I use affiliate links. If you click on the link, the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of helping support my channel. That way I can buy these with my own money, give you my complete opinion. You know, the Dream X50, I've been having problems with, and I've been saying that in videos, where if that was given to me, I probably wouldn't, because I'd be like, I don't want them to think badly of me or something. But, you know, Dream has reached out to me on Instagram. I did some Instagram videos showing that not working. And, you know, I just want them to be aware. I want to show people. I just love what I do. I love being able to give you my honest opinion. You know, this thing's so far so good. So again, if you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.